4.3. Triangle congruence by angle side angle and angle angle side. Number 1. Which postulate or theorem could you use to prove triangle x, y, and z is congruent to triangle A, B, and C? Well, looking at the pattern, we have two angles and a side included between them. So angle side angle would be the postulate for number 1. Number 2. Name two triangles that are congruent by angle side angle. Now we must have a congruent corresponding side in between two corresponding congruent angles. So looking at that, I would say angle side angle here, angle side angle here. So it'll be triangle M, N, and P, and triangle V or T, U, and V. And that's number 2. Number 3. Prove the following statement using the given pieces of information. So we're given the angles P, G, and J are congruent to angle S, G, and J, and we're given GJ is perpendicular to PS. And we're trying to prove that triangle SJ and G is congruent to triangle PJ and G. So these two are congruent because we're told that it's given. Now it says because perpendicular lines form right angles and all right angles are congruent. So we look at our perpendicular segments, that's GJ and PS, and we're asked to choose which angles are congruent because of that. That would be the two angles here, because perpendicular means it forms 90-degree angles, and two 90-degree angles are equal to each other. So GJ and S and GJ and P. So that'll be the first one. GJ and GJ are the included sides between the two pairs of congruent angles. You can see here's the included side, and here's the two congruent angles. And GJ is congruent to GJ by the reflexive property of congruence. Whenever something equals itself, that's reflexive. So the two triangles are congruent to each other by angle, side, and angle. So angle, side, and angle. And that's number 3. Number 4, complete the two-column proof, completes parts A through D. So we're first given that angles S and P are congruent to each other. That's given. We're also told that SD and WP are parallel. That is also given information. Now we have that angle PWD is congruent to SDW. That is this angle and this angle here. They are alternate interior angles. So if the lines are parallel, then alternate interior angles are congruent. Now 4, our reason is reflexive property. We use that when something is equal to itself. So in this case, we have WD equaling WD. And 5, the two triangles are congruent to each other, and it's going to be by angle, angle, and side. Just look for the pattern. And that's number 4. Number 5, determine whether the triangles must be congruent. If so, name the postulate or theorem that best describes your answer. Looking at our picture, we have two angles that are congruent to each other and a common side that's equal to itself. So looking at the pattern, we have angle, angle, and side. So your answer is going to be angle, angle, and side. And that's number 5.